When preparing for SSC exams, if there is any one subject that acts as a thorn in our throat, it is GS. You take 10 aspirants who are preparing for SSC, 11 out of those 10 people will say current affairs is the most unpredictable area. The reason is, for all the other subjects, there is a specific set of defined syllabus. You take history, polity, geography, there is a syllabus, but when it comes to current affairs, there is no syllabus and everything under the sun and anything under the sun can be asked as far as this part is concerned. And unfortunately, every day we have a newspaper itself will have 22 pages. So all in all, this current affairs will become a mammoth sized quantity and it becomes very difficult for us to handle it. But the way of handling current affairs, if we can change it slightly, then we can handle current affairs very easily and we can answer 80% of the questions of current affairs with minimal efforts. And in this video, we will have a discussion on exactly the same topic, that is how to handle current affairs. And for this particular topic, we are using 2025 current affairs as a reference and we will draw inferences for our 2026 preparation as well. Hello and welcome to Siddhi. In this video, we will take a look at the number of questions of current affairs asked in various CGL, CHSL, Steno and various other examinations, and we will segregate the current affairs based on time frame and the scope. That is, we will divide the current affairs into 2025, 24, 23 and beyond that range, and we will also segregate all these current affairs into various themes and we will understand what are the focus areas and how to prepare for current affairs. First, let's take a look at the overall data. Now, in this particular presentation, I have included all the current affairs questions that are asked in CGL, CHSL, CPO and Steno exams and some questions of CPO as well. This PDF will be posted in our Telegram channel. You can download this and you can take a look at this entire data. As far as this data is concerned, I have categorized these questions into year-wise current affairs and the total number of questions. If you take a look at these questions of CGL, the average number of questions is around 5, 4, etc. In some shifts, there are 6 questions, but 6 is the maximum number. Number of questions has not crossed 6. There are 3 questions, 5 questions again. So this is as far as CGL data is concerned. The number has not crossed 6 anywhere. 6 is the maximum and 2 is the minimum. Average number is around 3 to 4 questions. If you take a look at the CHSL data, this data is CHSL data. You can see frequently there are 6 questions in total, 7 in total, 9 in total. In fact, there are 11 questions of current affairs asked in a particular shift, which means 44% of the question paper in itself is current affairs as far as CHSL is concerned. So in the entire CHSL data, the average number is around 7. In fact, there are 10 questions, 10 again. Now, if you take a look at phase 13 graduation level data, the average number of questions is around 5 to 6. In few shifts, there are 7 questions. And if you take a look at the phase 13 12th level data, then again the number of questions are slightly lesser. And this is with respect to Steno data and CPO data. For CPO, we couldn't analyze all the shifts. But all in all, this entire data analysis proves that the number of questions for current affairs varies per examination. For example, in CGL, there are slightly lesser number of questions. In CHSL, there are slightly more number of questions. And tomorrow in MTS, there could be higher number of current affairs questions. This is the first thing. Second thing that this data proves us is with respect to timeline. If you have noticed the entire data, the number of questions that are asked from the last 1 year are way much higher than the questions that are asked from the older years. So as far as the composition is concerned, all in all, you can say that 5 is the average number of questions. Now, in some shifts, there are 3 questions only, but this is the average number that I am talking about. So to say a range of around 3 to 5 questions is the overall average composition. But if we break this down, as far as exams is concerned, for CGL, you can have 4 questions. For CHSL, it is 7. For Steno, 5 questions. And phase 13, all in all, there are around 6 questions. This is the average composition. And this composition changes when the exam changes. And in CHSL, there is higher composition. Now, let's look at the time frame. When I plot all those number of questions on a data pointer, in CGL, this is the size of number of questions that are asked from 2025. This is 2024 and this is 2023. This is beyond 2023. Same thing with CHSL. Similar thing with phase 13 and steno as well. So if you take a look at these questions, if I can consider a time frame of 1 year, that is, for example, assumingly next year CGL is from 20th August 2026, if I can consider a time frame of 1 year before the exam, that is June 2025 to July 2026, then I can answer more than 80% of the current affairs questions. There is no doubt about this. So when preparing for current affairs, because of the voluminous quantum of current affairs, we need to restrict our time frame. We should not run behind every current affair line that is written in the PDF. So the first lesson that we are taking home from this analysis is we are sticking to a time frame of 1 year range, and if there is a question which is beyond this range, which is out of this range, then conveniently we are going to skip the question. That's the first thing. The second thing is, when we are preparing for current affairs, along with the time frame, we need to have a very good clarity on the scope of the topics, that is, the topics from which questions are being asked, and these topics vary from exam to examination. For each of the exams, we need to take a look at the previous year questions, and we need to understand the themes on which they are asking the questions, and in all online examinations, PYQ themes repeat. So if we take a look at the PYQs that are asked in SSC exams, there are certain sections which I have categorized. For example, you have laws and policies, environmental initiatives, space technology, biotechnology, IR, government schemes, economy, and there are also themes such as e-governance, reports, indices, sports, appointments, important days, anniversaries, awards, books and others. So these are various themes on which questions are being asked, and trust me, PYQ themes repeat. Let me show you the data, let me show you questions again to prove that PYQ themes repeat. The first theme that I spoke is about laws, right? So if you take a look at this, this is laws that I'm talking about, and this is a steno paper. Question is on MTP Act. Question is on MTP Act. CGL, question is on BSA. CGL again, question is on PNSS. Next questions, for example, CHSL, question is on Waqf Amendment Act. Again, there are questions on in steno paper. The question is on DPDP Act, which means PYQ themes repeat. Questions are asked from this particular theme. There is one more theme, for example, environmental initiatives. In environmental initiatives, there are questions from CGL paper. There are questions from CHSL paper. All these are environment based questions, and in fact, there are questions from steno paper also. One more theme, space technology. There are so many questions that are asked in multiple papers. For example, this is a steno question paper. This is a steno and this is CPO paper. Steno is one of the earliest papers conducted in 2025 by the new vendor, and CPO is the latest paper. In steno, there are questions on space technology. In CPO, there are questions on space technology. So first thing is, again, PYQ themes repeat. As far as this vendor is concerned, we can divide the entire syllabus into certain themes, and these themes repeat. And as far as these themes are concerned, I am segregating these themes into two parts. First are conceptual themes. The meaning of conceptual themes is we need to have in-depth understanding of the topic. There are assertion reasoning type of questions which can be framed on this, multi-statement questions which can be framed on this, and we need to have a clear-cut idea and understanding of this topic, and these topics should not be prepared only as current affairs. These should be prepared as a part of the syllabus. For example, space technology. You need to understand what is space, what are orbits. You have to start there and you have to understand the whole concept of space technology so that you can handle the questions better. Similarly, international relations. You need to have a very good understanding and a basic idea of geopolitics that are happening around, so that when in the exams, when they ask you what is the impact of this particular treaty, what are the advantages of this treaty, what is the strategic advantage of Chabahar Port, when they ask you these kind of questions, you can handle them very well. So first section, conceptual themes, where we need to have a clear-cut understanding of the topic, and all these are those conceptual themes, and to prepare these themes, you should not completely rely on current affairs alone. These should be integrated with your actual syllabus, and that is the reason why when I was teaching you economy as a part of your foundation module, I have integrated as many schemes as possible. The reason is, schemes, you don't prepare them in silos. You need to understand why of a scheme to have a clarity on what of the scheme. So these are the topics that need conceptual preparation, and for these topics I would suggest a time frame of 2 years. That is, include all these topics in your syllabus and have a time frame of 2 years. But there is one more section, one more segregated theme where it is very difficult to learn beyond a point. For example, awards, sports, books and authors, reports and indices. For all these things, these are very factual. We have to mug them up. We have to remember them. There is no other choice. And it is very difficult to remember these things beyond a point. So for all those kinds of topics, that is, for all the factual themes, you can use any current affairs magazine. Again, I'm saying any current affairs magazine is same. It's just that they reorganize certain lines and they come up with magazines. So you pick up any magazine, and for factual themes, stick to a timeline of 8 to 12 months. If they're asking anything beyond this, feel free to skip the question. It's totally okay. The return on investment on the topic would be very minimal. And for the conceptual topics, you need to include them as a part of your syllabus. Consider that the ambit of the syllabus has actually increased. For example, a couple of days ago in our Telegram channel, I posted a question. From Steno 2025, it's a question based on Gujarat medieval architecture. In CPO, again there was a question, this time it is on Delhi Sultanate architecture, and both the questions were on architectural styles. There I told you that PYQ themes repeat, and earlier we used to see architecture as a small topic where we look at temple architecture, but now SSC has expanded the syllabus ambit and you need to prepare architecture as a topic in itself. You have to study ancient, medieval and modern architecture. There are questions on Gothic, Iberian architecture also. So as far as these conceptual topics are concerned, consider that they are there as a part of your syllabus and you prepare those topics. And for factual topics, stick to a timeline of 8 to 12 months, and beyond this, please don't invest time on current affairs. This is more than enough. Stick to these topics and prepare these topics. And as far as SSC 2026 calendar is concerned, for each of your examination, stick to a time frame of 8 to 12 months for factual topics. And the last line is, in CHSL, you'll have more factual topics. In fact, in MTS, you'll have more number of factual topics, whereas in CGL exams, you'll have more number of conceptual questions. So this is a complete analysis of current affairs, and this PDF will be available in our Telegram channel. Make sure you download the PDF and take a look at the number of questions. You will have a better clarity on this entire topic. See you all in the next video. All the best.